Hey, what is up, people? My name is Nick. Welcome to the Nick Deben channel. And this is the most ridiculous OTK I've ever made in my life. This is the Cloudian Nimbusman OTK. Let me just get down on the floor. Sorry if the camera's jittery a bit. That's because I don't have a tripod to stick my camera on. But that's because my camera is a cell phone. But I don't think you guys really care, do you guys? Please drop a no in the comments if you don't mind the camera moving around too much. But anyway, shape or form, let's get started with this make of the video. I'm going to give you guys deck profiles and Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duels for the best OTKs in it. First we have the Cloudian Nimbusman OTK here. The Nimbusman OTK here works like this. You have 3 Cloudian Squalls. It's pretty self-explanatory. What it does is it just puts a counter on every monster on the field during your standby phase. We only run 1 Dark Hole. I feel only running 1 Dark Hole is appropriate. Only 1 Salvage, because you really are trying to fetch that Nimbusman back just in case if it gets destroyed by, Dark Hole, for example. But you can't get it back if it's destroyed by Bottomless Trap Hole. Anyway, shape or form. We go on to the next bit. We go with 2 terraformings. I feel the 2 terraformings is fine. I don't believe we need any more than 2. Just to grab 2 the Sanctuary in the Sky, just in case if you drew one. Helps with shuffling the deck also. Our next thing we have is obviously the single Bottomless Trap Hole. It's at 1 in this game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist uses a lot of real-life card rulings. We have 1 compulsory evacuation device. I believe that running only 1 in an old-style deck is fine. We have 2 Dimensional Prisons. I think 2 Dimensional Prisons to stop a single attack from a single monster is fine. But if your opponent tends to have multiple monsters on the field, then Mirror Force is the way to go at 3. 1 Solemn Warning, because if your opponent summons a monster that's a beat stick, for example if it's 2500 attack or 2400 attack Monarch monster, that's a 2400 attack beat stick. All you have to do is just, flip this card over, pay 2000 life points, negate, bang. Spirit Barrier, it's a pretty good card. While you control a monster, you take no battle damage. In this case, it helps you protect your monsters as well as your life points at the same time, if you want this OTK to work. Cloudian Acid Cloud, I run Cloudian Acid Cloud at 3, going down to the monsters now. Cloudian Acid Cloud at 3 is perfect, because when you have at least 2 Cloudian Squalls in the field, and Cloudian Acid Cloud runs out of counters, and your opponent has a lot of back row, all you have to do is trip its effect continuously, of each and every one of them if you have 3 on the field, to wipe out your opponent's back row almost completely. Cloudian Altus is pretty damn good for discarding randomly for your opponent's hand. So self-explanatory, just discards a random card from your opponent's hand, as well as it being, like Cloudian Acid Cloud, indestructible by battle if it's in face of attack position. Because if you switch a Cloudian monster to defense position, it is destroyed by its own effect, not by battle. Cloudian Kura Stratus, I run this at 3. It's perfect for destroying monsters. So if your opponent has a 3000 attack beat stick on the field, all you have to do is trigger this card's effect. Bang! That monster's destroyed. This does not work. This deck here is 100% OTK stuff. It does not work against Matter. So if you try to use it against Matter, it's not going to work very well. Moving on to the next monster, we have 2 Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon. I believe Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon is a hell of a monster to put in this deck. Because when it attacks, it changes the battle positions of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. When it attacks, regardless of what position it's in. And here is the mascot card of this deck, Cloudian Nimbusman. Wait a minute. When this card is tributed, someone place 1 fog counter on it for each water monster you tributed. This card gains 500 attack for each fog counter on the field. That's when this and the Cloudian Squall comes in. Because if you have Cloudian Squall and Cloudian Nimbusman on the field, you can make his attack literally skyrocket from 1000 all the way up to above 8,000 and deliver a nice finishing blow. But when it comes to, you know, yourself not getting a mirror force or a dimensional prison or at least a compulsory evacuation device, or either one of the solemn warning or bottomless trap hole, then Cloudian Acid Poison Cloud is your way to go, because when it's destroyed by battle and sent into the graveyard, you can destroy the opponent's monster that attacked it and completely annihilate them in this case. Cloudian Storm Dragon, it's pretty good for placing counters on face-up monsters you or your opponent controls, which is pretty good in my opinion. Because if you combine its effect with Cloudian Squall, then you're going to have one hell of a beat stick on the field when you bring Nimbusman out. Please do share, like, and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. I thought this OTK was great. Now let's go check this OTK out. Okay, we're back in the campaign of the duel. I believe doing it against the campaign duelists is better for this OTK to work. I'll just select a random option here. I don't mind if I go first or second. In any Yu-Gi-Oh game, I don't mind if I go first or second, just as long as I have fun, that's all. In which I do. And there it is. We have Cloudian Squall in our hand. We got to keep this protected in this case. Well, Rex doesn't really have any mystical space typhoons in his deck, but the best way to protect your life points is to activate the Sanctuary in the Sky and then summon the Curus Stratus, which will gain 1 counter and an additional in my next standby phase. See, watch what happens when you remove 2 counters from this monster. I don't mind removing both counters, so I could just destroy a monster he controls. It's fine. I try to make this video as quick as possible because my cell phone's SD card is running out of room. Well, my monster went, but that doesn't really matter. And here it is, the Cloudian Nimbusman. If I just summon this Cloudian Poison Cloud, he won't attack because I'm not going to take any damage. I'll just keep ending my turn because I need a monster. A proper monster on the field. Kind of made a bit of a misplay there, but I don't think that really matters. Poison Acid Cloud. The Cloudian Poison Cloud's a fiend type anyway. It's not really a fairy. And as I said, while in face-up attack position, my Cloudian Storm Dragon can't be destroyed by battle. I'll just tell him he can have his pissy ass 2400 attack beat stick back, but that doesn't really matter. Now here's when this comes into play. That's 2 Cloudian Squalls. We want all 3 on the field along with a Spirit Barrier. And as I said, the Cloudian Storm Dragon's effect, just activate its effect to pop a counter on a face-up monster your opponent controls. It really doesn't matter. Now we have 2 Nimbusmen in our hand. What we want is another Cloudian monster other than Nimbusman, so we're going to have to put the video on pause here so I can get all set up, and I'll get you guys to watch the OTK afterwards. Okay, we have at least one Spirit Barrier and two Cloudian Squalls on the field. What we need to do is bring out our Storm Dragon by banishing the other one, so I can continue placing counters. It doesn't really matter if you have only 2 monsters on the field. About 10 counters is enough for an OTK here on each monster. And if you've just summoned something and your Cloudian Squall puts another 2 counters on it, that's out of the Cloudians, of course. That doesn't really matter. Now that we just drew our another Eye of the Typhoon here. We'll just let the game continue on now. Now here's where it gets interesting. We have a third Cloudian Squall right here. Sorry about the waits in the videos, people. I'm just trying to do the best I can to help protect my monsters also, as well as protect my Nimbusman. So when I get Acid Cloud, I can see a bottomless trap hole face down there. He'd rather not let me OTK him for some reason. But still doesn't matter. Now here we go, here's the Acid Cloud that we want. We want to make sure all of his back row is destroyed by the effect of Acid Cloud. So what we do is we summon Acid Cloud, he gains 3 counters. And we're going to continue to activate his effect twice. First we'll destroy Wasteland, so his monsters won't gain an additional attack boost. And we'll target Acid Cloud this time with Cloudian Storm Dragon and activate Acid Cloud's effect once again to destroy this back row over here, which is threatening rule. That really doesn't matter with me because I don't mind. I can't attack anyway. He's got a 2,650 attack beat stick on the field, so I'm not going to be able to destroy it. I'm going to use Gilasaur's effect and bring back my last Kira Stratus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant a face down monster here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate Kira Stratus effect twice, but I'm only going to target this one. Activate the remaining one's effect I'm not going to target that one. I'm going to target this. Because guess why? Because when he attacks with this monster here, I will just flip the back row by putting this card face down. I'm triggering him into an attack. And obviously I'll activate the effect of Cloudian Acid Cloud. I'll destroy his face down reinforcements. I'll activate Cloudian Storm Cloud. I'll be countering Cloudian Acid Cloud. Activate Cloudian Acid Cloud's effect once again to get rid of his remaining back row, which is Dragon Treasure. It does take a very long time to pull this combo off, it's pretty good. And here we go, he's just declared the attack. What you do is you flip over the back row, he's got nothing to defend himself with. And this is how the OTK comes into play. Yep, he's not going to put down a back row. This is going to work. We just activate this Crew Stratus effect, get rid of his monster, and tribute summon. Do not do this, just tribute summon by tributing one monster. He gains one counter. And look at this! This is why this card is so damn good. Good night. The Cloudian Nimbusman OTK. Please like and subscribe for more if you want more OTKs like this, people. This was a great video. I thought it was great. And this guy is crying right now because, wow. There is absolutely no way that I was able to pull this off before. But now that I've figured out a way how to make a Cloudian Nimbusman OTK, and I think I'm the first in Australia to make one. So as I said, smash that like button, give a thumbs up, so to speak. Tell me what you think in the comments, and subscribe. And if you'd like, you can also add me on the PSN. My ID is as follows. I'm pretty sure you guys could see that. So thank you very much guys for watching, beg your pardon. I will be back with another OTK for you as soon as possible, promise.